Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Keeping Up with the Windsors. My name's Michelle.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we're going to be chatting about the break-in in Windsor grounds. Rach, this is a big one. Also, how did the King spend his 76th birthday? And also, Rach, we had the really upsetting news that the Queen's beloved Jack Russell, Beth, was sadly put to sleep. But we've got so much more to chat about, Royal Community. If you are new around here, we are two friends who love talking about the royals. And if you love the royal family just as much as we do, then you're in the right place. Make sure that you subscribe and follow along as well. Make sure you like the video. And if you're watching us live and you have any thoughts about what we're saying and the topics we discuss, then pop them in the comment box or pop them in the discussion box after the video goes live, and we'll have a discussion as we go along and maybe pick a few at the end of the show. So, Rachel, how are you today? You okay?
It's been a stressful day today, so I'm having internet issues. The thing that holds my phone normally just broke, so I'm in a different location today. It looks a bit different. Hopefully I'll have it sorted by next week, but who knows?
And my light just literally went kaput as we went live, and we said, do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just press live and not worry about it. Also, the room I'm in is a bit like a freeze box. So I'm literally like, if I start shivering, Royal Community, take no notice of me. So today, we heard of a break-in at Windsor Castle. So we found this out. It happened in the 13th of October. And it was released. The details were released this week. The break-in happened at Windsor Castle Estate, and it was reported that two masked burglars scaled a 6-foot fence, entered a farm building, and made off with a black Isuzu, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, black truck and a red quad bike. Listen, no one was harmed, but the prince and the princess was on site at Adelaide Cottage with their children, and other members of the family were not on the estate at the time, which is always a good thing. There was no one harmed in this, but also no arrests have been made, and the investigation is ongoing. So this was a bit of a surprise to find this outrage this week.
Yeah, and I wonder why we're only just hearing about this information now, because if it happened back in October, why release it to the public?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, no one was hurt, but I guess it's because they're trying to find the people who did it, and they were masked. There was no way of finding out who they were. But I was reading the police investigation. They made off down a certain street, and they were like, they were appealing for anyone who knew what was happening. I think that's probably why they released a lot more of the details. So that was a bit of a shocking thing, especially knowing that the Waleses were there, and bear in mind, Royal Community, we know they've got security, they're safe, but you never know. That's the Windsor estate is huge. Let's put it this way. A lot of people are like, where's their security? Well, it's massive. The estate is massive, so there may be little chinks in the security armor. They're not going to be, they don't have like security guards lined back to back, do they? So there's going to be moments where they could potentially see a weakness and go for it. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise this week with this.
Yeah, and let's just hope that they catch whoever did it. And it's a bit random as well that they just got away with two cars. Like, what was their intent and purpose? Was it to break into the castle to get some priceless artwork? Who knows? So there might be an update when they've been caught. Who knows?
Yeah, and those items are quite expensive as well. So it could potentially just be that, it could be vehicle theft. It could be opportunism. Who knows? We don't have as much information, but if we do, we'll bring it back to you. Rach, tell us everything about Queen Camilla.
I know. Let's move on to the sad news this week that Queen Camilla's rescue dog had to be put down at the weekend due to a tumour that couldn't be treated. It was so sad. And Shell, we've spoken so many times on the podcast about Beth and Bluebell, both rescue dogs, both from Battersea. And we absolutely loved the engagement where Queen Camilla took Beth and Bluebell, and it was Beth herself who unveiled the plaque.
She had a plaque attack. We love
Plaque
it.
attack. She literally like pulled it off with her team. It was just the cutest, most adorable engagement, and it was just so sad. In their official post on Instagram, on their Twitter, it said a sad farewell to Beth, the Queen. The Queen's much loved companion from Battersea's Dogs and Cats home, who brought such joy, whether on walkies, helping on official engagements, or curled up by the fire. It was just like, oh gosh. And then Battersea themselves, they posted saying, Her Majesty, our patron, rehomed Beth from Battersea in 2011, and we have many fond memories of Beth visiting our centres over the years. Don't forget, Shell, as well, Queen Camilla's dogs have such an important role in her life, as you know, many people's pets do around the world. They were immortalised on her coronation gown, weren't they?
Yeah, and I think that's such a lovely touch, especially because it not only represents, you know, she loves her dogs, but also it represents her patronage. Royal community, you're just gonna have to go with it. This is the day to day. This is the way we're gonna roll with it. Her work, her royal work with animals. She is so connected to animal charity, Brooks, Donkey Sanctuary. You got you know, Battersea, you name it. Like, and this just immortalized that within that gown. And also we saw an image of Bluebell and Beth with her country. Was it Country Life? That magazine for a
Country
70th.
Life.
Yeah, for a 70th edition. And they had the pearls around them. Can you remember this picture, Rach?
Yeah, it was so cute. Wasn't it for
So
Camilla's
cute.
birthday?
It might have been for Camilla's birthday. I'm going off the cuff here. But it was really, I'd say, heartwarming because, come on, I just love a Jack Russell. I love the Jack Russell. I can't imagine what the Queen is feeling right now, because they were there at Highgrove when they went to Balmoral. They went on loads of walks everywhere. They were such an integral part of their downtime, her and the King. So yeah, they will be missed. They will 100% be missed. And I just think of poor little Bluebell. She's on her own. I know. Don't.
Maybe they'll get. Maybe over time they'll get another companion for Bluebell. Who knows? But yeah, just sad, such sad news. On happier news with Queen Camilla this week, we saw her last night, didn't we, with the King and Prince William at Buckingham Palace for the diplomatic court reception. And this would normally be attended by the Princess of Wales. She didn't attend this year. And I actually really liked that Queen Camilla wore a different tiara, Shell. She was wearing the aquamarine and diamond ribbon tiara, which we've seen Sophie wear quite a lot over the years. And it was really nice, I thought, of Queen Camilla to mix it up, because we see her normally in the Burmese tiara. We've seen that a few times. It was lovely to see her family order, the King's family order as well. And especially because the last few weeks she's been ill with chest infection, it was just nice that she could attend last night.
Yeah, exactly. Although controversial opinion, I don't like that tiara. I mean, aquamarine, I know that's my birthstone, but I literally was just like, it just sits too high above the head for me. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful piece, but it's not my favorite at all. But it was so lovely to see something different. You know, we do see the same pieces out and about, but it was nice to see Camilla wearing something different for sure.
And also, did you notice the King was wearing breeches? Which was...
I'm there for it. Bring it on.
William's not there yet. He's like, no, I'm not doing that.
He's like, when I'm king, then I will do it, but not now. Talking of the King, it was his 76th birthday this week, and to mark the occasion, a gun salute was held by the King's troop, Royal Horse Artillery, at Green Park. Now, we've seen them quite a few times in person, haven't we, Rach?
Yeah, we saw them at the Jubilee, and also when the Queen passed away, we actually went and saw them. And let me tell you, they're loud on TV, but when you're there, You can literally like feel them vibrating, can't you, through the ground? And we do actually have a vlog on our YouTube. So if you search on our YouTube, there'll be a vlog back when the Queen passed away, and that is one of the vlogs, isn't it?
Yeah, because we there's a playlist actually of all of those vlogs from the Queen's passing when we did go to London. So if you want to watch the whole entirety of our trips back and forth to London, including the 13-hour queue, feel free to head back to the playlist. That was an adventure. So for his birthday and to coincide with the first anniversary, gosh, it's gone so fast, the first anniversary of the Coronation Food Project, the King visited the new Coronation Food Hub in Deptford, which is in southeast London. This is operated by the Felix Project, which is London's largest food distribution charity. He also attended during this time a surplus food festival that was put on for his birthday, meeting those who had benefited from the project. And also, right, I don't know whether you've seen this, but a group of school children were there and they sang him happy birthday and gave him this most adorable handmade card. I loved it. It was brilliant. And then this bit made me laugh. He also opened Fairshare's Merseyside Food Hub via a live link. So we opened like the both of them at the same time. Not at the same time, sorry, at the same event. And what was funny is you could see the people in Merseyside on the video, like say a Zoom or whatever. And then the King had a microphone. He tapped. He was like, "Is this thing on?" And it was just so funny how it happened. So I don't know whether that was I'm sure it wasn't, because I'm sure during COVID it happened a lot. But I think this was like the King's foray into virtual openings of things. And maybe that's it, isn't it? Maybe that's the thing. That's how they get to do all of their Commonwealth duties. They just sit there and go, "I now declare this open," or whatever, over live link. Who knows? I when I was looking into this as well, Rach, I found out some statistics about the Coronation Food Project, which is doing extremely well. So during the first year, 15 million pounds was raised to inaugurate. How do I say that word?
Inaugurate, yeah.
Yes, to inaugurate the first two Coronation Food initiatives. 940 tons of surplus food was rescued. An additional 1,900 tons was donated, and £715,000 was distributed through community food grants. That is a massive achievement for 1 year of the Coronation Food Project. So I just hope it goes from strength to strength, because watching some of the interactions with the King during this, whilst he was on this engagement, it was really heartwarming, because a lot of people had benefited from from this project in particular, and just thanking the King and everyone who's working there for making this thing happen. So yeah, onwards and upwards for it. Fingers crossed it goes from strength to strength.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the Duchess of Edinburgh. Sophie had a really busy Monday, 3 engagements in one day. Is Sophie becoming the new Anne? What's going on? She was here, there and everywhere. So this included a visit to the Feel Good Inside and Out project at Cranford College. She also attended a 60th anniversary reception for the Wellbeing of Women charity, of which she is patron. And she visited the Fight for Sight laboratory at the University College of London Institute of Ophthalmology.
Yes! I literally was going to say, Rach, I don't think I know how to say that word.
Well, I said ophthalmology, and there's me, like, I had to make this text bigger, and even then I was like, what does that word say? Because I need my glasses on. I said to Cheryl, I was like, I can't put my glasses on because they'll reflect.
Love it. Can I just say, I know obviously we're just going to talk about like her amazing work that she's done this week, not that she doesn't do amazing work every week, but wow, I love that leather ensemble she was wearing. Did you see it, Rach? I was just like, yes, Sophie, bring more of this to us. We love this.
Yeah, she's worn that dress before an engagement. It's a Loewe dress, but she obviously paired it with a top, a long shirt top underneath it. Yeah, I thought she looked fantastic on Monday. I really loved her outfit.
And not just that, I loved her hair and her makeup. Like it was styled really well.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, she looked incredible. Again, just really nice to see Sophie at the forefront. And also we had this week in the UK are some of the British magazines, including Hello Magazine. They had a lovely front cover of Sophie and Catherine, and it was something like the Royal Sisterhood. And I just loved that that headline, because I was like, yes, this is what we love to see, isn't it?
Well, they're so used to pitting, especially royal women, against each other. It's so nice that there's a bit of camaraderie and a bit of support. And I think we've said this quite a few times as we cover Sophie and Catherine moving forward. You know, there is such a warmth and I would say an underlying respect for them both, and they do look after each other, and I think that's so important, especially with how high profile their positions are and how important they are as well within public life and their roles. So it's so great for them to have each other, because they know what each other are going through, and that's quite difficult, isn't it, to say, because everyone else is not in their position.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just really lovely to see Sophie. And we have heard of Edward on a few engagements, again not covered by the royal socials. Now come on, if you're getting Sophie out there more in terms of coverage, it needs to be the same for Edward as well. You can't have one without the other, because he's been doing a lot of engagements as well, but just not the same coverage, which is a bit disappointing, really.
Yeah, I saw literally before we went live that he's awarded the Prince Philip Award today. So yeah, and it's the first ever one. I think I might have taken a screenshot. What we'll do, Royal Communities, we'll figure it out and we will add it to next week's. Yeah, I did not take a screenshot. I don't know why I didn't do that. Yeah, we'll add it to next week's news for you. But yeah, like you said, Rach, not really covered, should be covered. It's going to be really exciting to see what comes from the Prince Philip Award. But as you know, my favourite royal is the Royal Hobnob. That's the Princess Royal for everybody who don't know who the Royal Hobnob is. That's our nickname for her. So let's cover some of her engagements, because we haven't spoken about her for a couple of weeks. On November the 20th, as president of the Royal Yachting Association, she attended the British Olympic Sailing Team Luncheon in London. Try and say that 10 times fast. She also participated in the St. John Ambulance Young Achievers reception in her role as Commander-in-Chief, I think for the young achievers, for the youth achievers for that. And she also attended the Foundation Day at the University of London as Chancellor. It's all in one day, by the way, Royal Community. In November the 21st, she presided over the Princess Royal Training Awards Conference at President of the City and Guild of London Institute. She also attended the Royal College of Anaesthetists Winter Symposium in London, highlighting her patronage of the organisation. Now, this is one thing I will say about the Royal Hobnob. When she does things, she goes to these things that have really, really long names. And we need to take a very big breath when we're talking about them. But again, lovely to see her out and about. You may need to go and see specific Princess Royal fan accounts sometimes to actually pick up this information, because you won't necessarily get it on the main royal family socials. So yeah, keep an eye out on some of the fan accounts, because they do excellent work, don't they, Rach? Keeping everybody up to date. And it's something that we always check in with them to make sure we're on top of things, because it's hard sometimes to get news to talk about, because it's not in the big headlines. So yeah, and Royal Community, I hope you don't mind, but I thought I'd put some notable mentions in. The first is Zara Tyndall at Cheltenham Racecourse. Now, she was wearing a military-style green coat, we're going to talk fashion now, from Fairfax and Favour, paired with some brown accessories. So I think she had like brown gloves. And I just loved this green coat. I thought she looked really like boss girl, kind of like, let's go for it. This is where she excels. She's at the races. It's something that she loves, and I just love Zara. I love her, especially Rach. Did you see her at the remembrance? There was a remembrance service. I can't remember where it is, but she was wearing that black dress with the gold leaf kind of emblems on the waist. She's worn that dress quite a few times, but I just love her in that. I think she looks absolutely brilliant. And obviously, we've got Mike Tyndall out there as supporting her as well. But Rach, my other notable mention is Prince William on a motorbike this week. Yay! It was a fake one. It was a fake one. He was at the Ulster University in Belfast, and he was a visual effects production studio, and he got on a bike, and you know at the back, like when all the background changes and it looks like you're riding a bike and you've got to act, it was kind of that. So yeah, that made me giggle today. I was, oh yeah, okay, brilliant. I love it. I love an action engagement.
Yeah, and I've had like a really busy day at work today, but I did see that he's been in Newport today. Yeah, so I've not had time to read up on what his engagements were and what charities he visited. But I know he's been out today, so it's been nice to see him out and about.
Amazing stuff. Well, I also wanted to just add a little bit in about his motorbike because he actually, I don't know whether he's completely stopped, but Catherine doesn't like him riding a motorbike, right? And she was on record in 2015 on a walkabout in Dundee saying he's still riding it, as in the motorbike. It fills me with horror when he goes out on it. I'm terrified. So I think as well, when the kids were born, he decided, okay, let me just not do as many dangerous things. But he did when he was with Prince Harry together, they did a charity motorbike ride for 8 days for 1,000 miles off-road across South America for some of their charities. So it's something that you could tell was a passion of his and Prince Harry's, and a great way to show their adventurous nature. And I mean, I've never got on a motorbike, Rach. I wouldn't even know how to start one.
I'd
Never mind 1,000 miles. I know.
I'd be too scared.
Exactly. What is your favourite engagement of the week?
Favourite engagement? I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't really been on it this much this week because I've had a really hectic work week. I did like seeing the engagement for the King's birthday. So that was really nice, and I liked it's not an engagement, but I liked that they posted on the royal socials about Beth, because that's something that we've not had before, and I think it just goes to show how integral and how much a part of the family Beth was, especially to Queen Camilla. And my heart just goes out of her, because anybody that's lost a pet, they're part of your family. Like, they're not even, sometimes they're like another human
more
being.
than other family members.
Yeah. But they're like another, like, they're so important in your lives. It's like looking after a little person. It's not a person, but so my heart just really went out for her, and anyone that's lost a pet knows exactly that feeling. It's just awful. So just and I think when it broke, I texted you, Shell, and you said something, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so true. And you were like, well, she was rehomed and she had like such a lovely life after she was rehomed. Just lovely. And she really did have the best life.
One of the best lives you could ever have as a dog. Exactly. To be honest. She was adopted by royalty, you know. Yeah, what an extraordinary life she had. And I agree with you, Rach. I think it was very special that the royal family socials shared that information. I think as well because she's been so public with Bluebell and Beth and their adoption, and bringing them into her engagements and her story and that type of thing. So I think it was such a lovely thing that we were able to know that information, because that's not something they would necessarily share with us, right? So I completely agree with you. I loved the engagement with William on a motorbike, and also the king when he was sung happy birthday. I think it was such a lovely thing. So yeah, what is your favorite engagement of the week? Let us know in the comments section below. Petra, you've got a comment for us. You said, this is a day so sad for Queen Camilla. I had 2 Jack Russells. Yeah. I had a Jack Russell called Zoe, and yeah, they're into everything. Jack Russells, they've got so much vibrancy, so much energy.
They're so mischievous as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jack Russells.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a breed, unless you've owned one, you go, who would have a Jack Russell? And then you own one, you're like, oh, they're so like fun and on it all the time, you know. So they do bring a lot of life. They do bring a lot of joy. As do all dogs. It's just, yeah, really, really sad. And then we've also had the break-in at Windsor. Like I say, it's not as if they were in the castle. You know, when you hear that, you're like, what happened? Who, you know? But you know, it's still a breach of security, and that is also worrying at times. So yeah, I think, Rach, we're all good. We've done everything today.
We've done it all. Well,
we've done it all.
There's a lot coming up over the next few weeks. On the 8th of December, or is it the 8th? No, the 6th of December, excuse me. 6th of December, we have Catherine's Carol concert. So obviously, fingers crossed the children are with them. They were with them last year, so that'd be nice if they were with them. And it's always one of those events that we love to see, because we get to see the extended family, don't we? We normally have Beatrice and Eugenie and their husbands come along. I'm hoping maybe this year Lady Louise, because we had Viscount Seven, well, now the Earl of Wessex, went last year, so it would be really nice to see Mike and Zara. Their kids usually go. It's just a fun family occasion where the whole community gets involved, but it's just such a joy, because as a royal watcher, it's one of the times in the year that we get to see quite a lot of the royals together. Yeah.
And in the years to come, if it carries on, which I'm sure it will, it'll be so lovely when Beatrice and Eugenie's children grow up a little bit more, because I think Wolf was there last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there, yeah.
So it'll be nice when Sienna's there, and you know, we got August, and it's going to be really lovely to see all of them starting to go to these types of events, because they're too little at the moment. But we've had a message from Greg. Hi, Greg. Welcome to the show. I loved seeing Camilla in the aquamarine ribbon tiara. The king looked dashing too. Well, we agree, but also I'm not a fan. I mean, they're absolutely extraordinary pieces of aquamarine in that tiara.
Yeah, I do like that tiara. It was just nice to see something different, as I said before. So
yeah, and like I say, it is a shame that Catherine wasn't there, but we completely get it. We understand. Hopefully she's better for next year. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch us next week. We'll be here live. And have a lovely week. Hopefully it gets warmer here, right? Because it's freezing.
It won't do. It won't do. We've got months of this yet, so buckle up.
We will see you next week, Royal Community, on Keeping Up